Hello everyone, welcome to my to-go class, my Facebook Live to-go class. It's been a crazy month for December at least, and I've really not been live, even though I've made sure that I'm here with you. A lot of my to-goes have been recorded, so I really am here live tonight. If you're here with me, please do say hello. I've missed all of you guys. I am April Davis. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up, and I live in Spring Hill, Kansas. And I'm really excited to share what we're going to be doing tonight. I'm going to jump ahead a little bit, and we're going to do a little bit for Valentine's, and I want to explain why. I'm actually leaving a week from tomorrow to go to Hawaii. I will be in Hawaii for 3 weeks. And yes, I'm incredibly excited. There's a big snowstorm and a cold front coming through this weekend. And I'm just so excited that I don't have to endure it for very long before I, can hop on that plane and head to Hawaii. While I'm in Hawaii, I will be with you, but a lot of it will be recordings. So I was really excited to be here with you tonight because next Thursday it will be recorded again. And then I'll be reaching out periodically just to touch base with all of you guys through Facebook, just to stay connected. But I've got a lot of fun things coming up, and I wanted to basically share a few of those things with you right now. And to start, I wanted to share the happy mail that I get. So let me switch the screen a bit. And I wanted to share some happy mail. I've been loving all the cards that you guys have been sending. And I wanted to share a few more pieces that I received. This was a Christmas card that I received from Melody. Melody, thank you so much. She went with a gold theme. And one of our dies, I don't know if you can see, but it's kind of layered. Can you see the layering in that? I love this die, and that's exactly what she did with this tree. So she took advantage of that gold theme and created her Christmas card, and I love it. Thank you. Then I got a Merry Christmas card. It's a Christmas card, but it's also a congratulations on my retirement that occurred back in August of this year. But this is from Tanya. But look how pretty that is. She's got some embossing here. And then we've got, that silver sparkle paper. She just incorporated a lot of different things with this card. So fun, and it sparkles. Thank you, Tanya. And then I got a second, I got a Christmas card from her sister, Vicky, and Vicky utilized one of the kits that she got from me. And Vicky, this turned out so cool. Thank you for sharing with me because you did a great job. So again, I love getting happy mail from all of you guys, and just enjoy it so much. Additionally, I wanted to share with you, while I've got you watching here from my desktop, I wanted to share with you a special that I've got going right now, the Spring Fusion Ephemera and Blooms class. I'm going to take you to my website here in just a second, but I wanted to show you the cards really quick because registration closes tomorrow. So if you guys are interested in the Spring Fusion class, you got to jump on it now because it closes tomorrow. But I'm partnering with my friend in Canada, and we are taking ephemera and we're creating cards with them. And you're going to get a half a pack of one package of ephemera and a half a pack of another. So I took one, and these are the cards that I created. Such cute cards. I have a newfound love for ephemera. Because you can really create some fun cards. So I'm going to take you to my website to show you where all of that is. Let me bring this up and I'll switch it over. And again, it's the Spring Fusion Ephemera and Blooms class. registration does close January the 3rd, but what's included in your package is you're going to receive, as I mentioned earlier, a half package of 2 different kinds of ephemera. So it equates to a full package, but you're getting a lot more variety. Then you're going to get some of the new designer series paper. You have all the cardstock that you need to create the cards. There will be embellishments, ribbon, and of course the shipping is included in the cost of the kit. So if you are interested, please take time to come out and visit my website so you can register so I can get you on the list and get your kit cut. This is going to ship approximately January the 9th. Actually, it will ship January the 9th because I am leaving on, it says Monday, January the 9th. That's not Monday. That is Thursday, because I'm leaving on the 10th and that's a Friday, so that's just a typo. But January the 9th is correct. All right, let's go back to my desktop and I want to show you the cards that we're creating tonight. So fun. Remember, we're popping ahead to Valentine's, and the reason for that is because I'm going to be gone for 3 weeks. Excuse me for that. I'm still fighting a cold, and so I apologize for coughing throughout this to-go class, but it's probably going to happen. Anyway, I am going to be actually recording some videos for you while I'm gone, and we'll post them Thursday night at 7 p.m. like I usually do. So I will be with you, but we're going to explore some other things that I'm going to look at more like kits, some of the amazing kits that Stampin' Up has in their store, their online store, and then also I want to focus on Paper Pumpkin a little bit. So I'm going to be doing that while I'm gone, since I won't be able to do the to-go classes, since I won't be able to ship out to-goes to you while I'm gone. But here are the cards for tonight. So this is our first one. It opens up like this. How fun is that? Then we have a second one, and let me show you what this one does. Untie the bow, open it up, and you've got a place for your little message, and you've got a place for a gift card. This is a Hilton key card, but you get the point. And then last but not least, how fun is this? It's a heart-shaped Valentine's Day card. This says Happy Valentine's Day. So I'm going to show you how to create all 3 of these cards. We're going to start with this card, and I'm going to show you what's in the kit. This is petal pink cardstock. Then I've got a piece of basic white cardstock. This is more of the petal pink cardstock that was actually cut from this piece. And then I've got some of our designer series paper. And I want to show you, I'm going to skip ahead here for just a second after I pull these out, because the designer series paper is to die for. So, so pretty. Basic white, and then another scrap for my stamping. Okay, that's, whoops, and I can't forget my gold heart. How pretty is that? All right, before I go on, I really need to share with you, because I kind of skipped ahead to the cards and I didn't even tell you what we're doing. This is the Marble of Elegance designer series paper. Look how pretty this paper is. Oh my goodness. It's got like a marbling effect with gold marbled through it. So, so pretty. And then we've got some hearts on the background of this one. And then this is more, this is like real red. This is more, what do I want to say? Melon Mambo. And you can see the gold marbling effect in that. And then we've got some stripes. And maybe this was cranberry, or not cranberry, but cherry cobbler. Excuse me. Maybe this is real red. And then, of course, we've got this on the back. Now we're getting into some pinks here. And then it goes from marbling to like speckles and then splatters. But, oh my goodness, such pretty, pretty paper. I'm so excited to be sharing this with you tonight. Okay, so that's that. But what's stamp? Oh, I got to also talk about the gold foil sheets. That's how we get this really pretty gold heart that we're going to be utilizing. But I need to tell you about the stamp set that we're using. So I need to, I know it's here. Here it is. I got it. It's called, Hearts of Elegance. And happy Valentine's Day. My heart belongs to you. Love you. Sending lots of love. Be mine. To, from for a tag, and then XOXO. So you wouldn't necessarily have to use this for Valentine's Day, sending lots of love or love you. You can use that for other things as well. But you've got your photopolymer stamps, and then you also have your dies. And what's neat about this is you've got several shapes of dies that you can utilize, and then you've got some that are like, I want to say pierced, if you will. This is pierced also, this one. These are some flowers that we're utilizing. And then I believe I have a bigger die for hearts back here. So, excuse me, guys. I love this die set. Even if I didn't want the stamps, which I love the stamps, but even if I didn't want the stamps, I love all these hearts. So that's what we're going to be utilizing tonight. I've already shared the kit with you, so let's go ahead and get started. So basically what I did after I did 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2, I took and cut off about 2 3/4 inches. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to fold this. And I'm going to take my designer series paper, and I'm going to layer my designer series paper on this flap. So let me pull out my glue. And I know I'm covering up that gorgeous paper. We're going to be using more of it. This time around, I want the flowers. All right. So we've got this going. All right, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in our gold twisted thread. This is actually part of the suite that comes with this. Sorry, I'm going to grab a drink real quick. The suite comes obviously with the bundle. It comes with the paper, it comes with the thread, and it also comes with embellishments. And we'll be using these as well. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get this all set up. So we're going to wrap around, and I think I'm going to go this way. I know it's upside down, but I want my bow on this side. So I'm going to wrap this around once. I'm going to wrap it around twice. So now I've got a place for my bow. And then what I'll do, I want to make sure that I've got plenty enough thread to tie that bow. So I'm going to do a little bit of adjusting here just to give myself a little bit more room. And then I'm going to go ahead and snip this off with my ribbon snips. So we'll get that snipped off. And then I'm going to turn it around so it's not upside down, because I don't want an upside down bow. But I did want it on this side. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do a crisscross on this. And then once I have the crisscross, I'm basically ready to tie my bow. And I can adjust these strings here in just a second. But in order for me to do this, to make it easier for me, this is how I do it. I take a glue dot and I'm just going to take it and put it into like just a little knot. And I'm going to put it down where I want my bow to go. Because right now, everything's moving around. As soon as I start to tie, it gets loose. So I want to put my glue dot right here. This is where I want my bow to go. I'm going to take my thread, it's crisscrossed, and I'm going to push it down into that glue dot. And then because I did that, it's staying put, which I love. So now I can actually tie the bow. And it's not moving, and I've got control. So, well, I do have control. I just got to get my big thumbs out of the way. All right, let me push this through again. There we go. We've got it. All right, I'm not going to do any trimming yet. I just want to get my bow on here. And now what we're going to do is we're going to do some stamping. Excuse me. Okay, so I am going to bring in Melon Mambo. and we are going to utilize the flower stamp, and I'm going to stamp the bottom of the piece that's going to go inside of our card. Okay, so let's go ahead and get that done. Actually, I'm going to stamp 2. That's why I need this piece of scrap cardstock. So I'm going to stamp, and I need one more thing. I'm using photopolymer stamps, so I want to make sure that I get some cushion down below my stamp, so I get a good stamp. All right, so we're going to stamp that one. So we've got that. Move it off to the side, and then I'm going to stamp another one. I want to make sure I can look through my block to make sure that I'm getting a good coating of ink. That's good. So let's go ahead and we will clean this off. And now I'm going to move on to some leaves. And so I'm going to bring in my Flirty Flamingo. And I'm going to pull in these. I don't want those leaves. I want the other leaves. Wrong leaves. All right, so let's bring this set in. And I'm going to trade them out. I want the tri leaves instead of the single stem. So I'm going to put that back. I'm going to pull these, and we're good to go. All right, now I can stamp these in Flirty Flamingo. Okay. And I'm going to be die cutting both of these, so I'm going to get my mini cut and emboss out here in just a sec. So I've got that. Okay, set that aside. And then I'm going to bring this piece in. This piece is what's going to hold the sentiment. So let me clean this off real quick. And I'm going to bring the sentiment in. I'm using the Flirty Flamingo again, and we're just going to stamp right down here on the bottom of this card. So move that out of the way. I don't want to get my fingers in it. And then I can just stamp. Okay, so we're good to go. All the stamping is done. I just need to do some die cutting, and then we're going to start to build this card. So let me get my inks put away. I'm going to reach behind me and grab my mini cut and emboss. My dies are small enough that I can do the mini, and I don't have to worry about bringing my big guy in. So here's my mini. And we'll pull the dies out, and we are looking for this flower-shaped die, and we're looking for the 3-leaf die. So let's go ahead and get those going. Move my stamps out of the way so I don't knock them over. And bring out my mint tape. Build my sandwich, my well-loved cutting plate. I use my cutting plate until it doesn't work anymore, and then I switch it out for my top plate. And then my top plate becomes my cutting plate, and then I put a new top plate on. Once in a while I forget, and I run it through the wrong way. But for the most part, as you can see, I hit it quite a bit on the right plate. It's kind of hard to miss, right? Okay, let's get this lined up and get it cut out. All right, we'll crank this through. Move this out of the way. Plates with it. And we'll pull these out. Save my tape for the next project. And I'm going to put my dies in a safe place so I don't get those lost. I'll probably bring them back out again. All right, so let's start to build the rest of this card. We've got this piece of white. We've got this piece of white. What we're going to do is we're going to center this basic white on our pink cardstock, our petal pink cardstock. Okay, so let's get that done. I didn't talk about the to-go class when we were visiting my website, but if you like these cards, you can get these cards for free, the kit to make these cards for free when you place an order in my online store. I'm pulling out dimensionals right now, but you need to have the Hearts of Elegance stamp set, or I should say you don't necessarily need to have the Stamp of Elegance, Hearts of Elegance stamp set, because if you've got something else that's equal or, similar, I should say, in your library, you can certainly use that. And then you can create these cards just using what you've got in your library. But I will send all the cardstock. I don't do any die cutting or any stamping with the bundle, but anything that's outside the bundle, I will die cut and stamp for you. And then, what else do I want to tell you? Sorry, trying to get this centered. Suddenly I'm thinking hard. And you'll also receive a tutorial. So you've got this video that you can follow up on, but you'll also receive a tutorial as well, a written tutorial. So you can use the written tutorial to help you assemble the cards also. All right, I'm gonna put this flower right here on the top of this heart. And then I'm going to tuck, I'm gonna put a little dimensional, these are big dimensionals. I'm gonna pull the little dimensionals out, and I'm gonna put a little dimensional on these flowers, or these leaves, I should say. And then we'll tuck it in underneath the flower. So we'll get this all built up. So there we have that. Okay, and then now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this piece and we're going to put it, and I'm gonna move my, well, I'm gonna try to move my my bow over just a little bit. I know I've got a glue dot here that was holding it in place, but I can actually pull the glue dot up for just a second. We'll slide it over and then we'll push it back on. The big thing is my bow is tied, so I'm able to move this as I need to. The glue dot was fine, and I just need to, there we go. All right, I'm gonna push my glue dot down again. All is good. And now I can get this centered up the way that I want to get it centered up. So I'm going to center it right here, and I'm going to put it on dimensionals. So basically what I want to do is I'm going to actually put dimensionals. I'm going to center this where I want it, and then I'm going to bring in some of the larger dimensionals just to get me started. I'm going to put one here, and I'm going to put one here. Okay, so I know I'm not going to go down any further than that. And then what I can do is I can turn that over, and I'll put another one up here and another one up here. So when I go to center it, I've got dimensionals for the top and the bottom. So let me go ahead and get these off of here. Got those. And let's see, I'll get this one and this one. Those in the bin, bring this back in, and now I'm gonna recenter it again where I want it before I push it down. I just wanna make sure I get it in the right spot and make sure I get it even as well. I think I can go over just a little bit, so I'm gonna pick this up just a tad, and I'm gonna go over a little bit. Just laying it down very gently. All right, I just want to move it up. It's not even at the top. This is why I put glue on my dimensionals, because see, if I had glue on my dimensionals, then I could just slide. But because I can't slide right now, I'm actually having to, I think that's good enough for now. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that down. And then the last thing I need to do to create the card is put my piece of white cardstock inside. So you can stamp a sentiment in there if you want to, or you can write a sweet note in there, but we'll put this in. And just remember, when you do write your note, try to center it if you can behind where we have the cardstock, the pretty petal pink cardstock. So when I close this up, you don't want your note showing through this way. So you'll write up here, and then you can come down even to here. You just want to keep it in the center. All right, so let me trim off my ribbon now. I think that's how I want it. And we have card number 1 done. And look how pretty that turned out. How fun is that? All right, let's move on to card number 2. And card number 2 is going to be this fun one that we open up and we can put our little gift card in. Okay, so let me show you that kit. Let's see, did I cover it up with the paper? It's right here. Here we go. Okay, so we're going to start with a piece of Mellow Mambo cardstock. Then we've got a piece of basic white cardstock. Then we have another piece of Mellow Mambo cardstock. And then we've got a piece of Designer Series paper that I've already scored. All the dimensions are in the tutorial. I have a piece of basic white that will go on the inside of the card. And then we have a heart that we're going to stamp on that will go to the outside of the card. And then we get to embellish it up with some bling and some gold thread. So let's go ahead and start at least building our layers to get started. So we're going to take the Mellow Mambo cardstock and adhere the white cardstock to it. We're just going to center it up. This card is really easy to make. It's mostly just layering. All right, so let me get this centered up the way that I want it. And of course I have to pick it up and look at it and make sure that I'm getting it adjusted where I want it. Okay, that looks good. Now we have another layer of cardstock. We're going to center it in the middle of this one. So do that again. And I can go up just a little bit. There's more room on the top and bottom than there are on the sides. But I think that's pretty good. Okay, we've got that. Now let's go ahead and we're going to fold this up. So I've already got the score lines in it. Basically, this is going to be the back, and then we're going to fold this in. See how pretty that paper is? And then we're going to fold this in again. And what's going to happen is the one that we folded in, let me burnish these so that they all lay flat now. Let's see if I can, maybe I should do this one first. All right. And then we'll fold this one over. And I want to make sure it burnishes correctly. Okay, so now I've got this, and it opens up like this, okay? Excuse me. To create the gift card piece of it, you need to cut off from the top of the inside piece about 1.5. So I want to cut off 1.5 up to the score line. So I'm going to bring my trimmer in. And we're going to go, let's see, what do I want to do this? I'd really like to use this side, but I don't think that I'm going to be able to do this. So I'm going to, let me just get my bearings. This is my back. Maybe that's the inside. This is gonna be my back. No, I want this to be my back. All right, so I'm gonna cut from the front because I can measure 1.5 from the front. So I'm gonna measure to 1.5, and then I'm gonna take my score blade, or not my score blade, my blade, and I'm going to line this line on the blade up with my score line. And once I have that lined up, and I have to stand up so that I can see, I don't wanna get my head in the, there we go. I'm just gonna press down, and I'm at 1.5. I'm just gonna cut it all the way across. Then what I can do is I can line up my score line on my track, and I'm gonna cut down to where I actually cut. So I'm paying attention to where I cut, and I'm gonna bring it to right about there. I think I'm at, yep. And then what happens is this piece just comes away, okay? So now, this is gonna go to the back, this is gonna be the front, but I wanna be able to put a gift card in it. So I'm gonna take one of our punches, this is the 1.5" punch, and I'm just gonna come over here and I'm gonna center it on the paper just a tad bit. Can you see? I don't have a lot, but I'm centered from side to side, basically. And then I can punch, and now I've just got a little divot for my gift card. So now what I can do is I'm just going to take a thin stream of glue, and I'm going to put some glue along this edge, very thin stream. Okay, and then I'm going to do a very thin stream right along the bottom. I don't want my gift card to fall out. And then I can close this up. Okay, now I can take my gift card and I can put it inside my folder. So what we'll do now is take the folder, we're gonna glue the back side and center it in our Mellow Mambo cardstock. So I've got things sticking to me, so let me go ahead and do that. All right, and then I'm going to center this up, and I can slide it around till I get it to where I want it to be. I really would like to slide it up just a little bit. It's not cooperating with me very well. I have noticed that if I use a thin stream of glue, it sticks a lot faster. So if you really want to have some room, and you know what, guys, I already made a mistake here. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you my favorite product, and let me see, do I have it here? I do have it here, it's somewhere. Did I have it? Give me 1 second. Oh, here, it's right here. Okay. Sometimes we make mistakes because we jump ahead of ourselves. And so I have what we call undo remover. And you would think that sometimes I make these mistakes on purpose just so that I can share this incredible product with you. I don't really do it on purpose, but I want you guys to know that I do make mistakes. So I can take the undo, it's got a little tab on it, and I'm going to loosen up this adhesive. Now, don't freak out. It does get wet, but it dries very quickly, and you won't even be able to tell. But sometimes you've got to get it wet enough so that you can get your glue kind of to undo. So I'm just utilizing this to pull it up. I'm not forcing it. I'm just letting it do its thing. Put some more here. I've got to get this side. It's not going to hurt the card. It's not going to hurt anything that I've inked. Not that I have on the inside, but we'll go ahead and get this done. But I'm excited to share this with you because this is like one of my absolute favorite products. You can order it on Amazon, and I can't live without it. Seriously, I cannot live without it. It's a staple, and I know I have a lot of staples in my craft room, but listen, I save more work because I'm able to undo. Look at this. I'm just gonna wait for it to dry. So if you don't have this in your craft room, you want to add it. It is amazing stuff. And I have saved more cards than not by utilizing it. But what I want to do is I need to add my thread so that I can tie this closed and put a little bow on it. So I needed to put that behind here first. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tie my bow, put it around this entire piece, and I'm going to cut off enough that I can tie my bow. So let me bring in my ribbon snips. And I'm going to go ahead and tie the bow right now. And I'm not going to use the glue dot because I need to be able to untie this bow. But I'll tie it right now so that when I go to glue this back down again, it won't be in my way, so to speak. So let me push this through. I love this thread, but it is little, so I have to be careful how I grab it. And that's not tight enough for me, but I knew that this would happen because I didn't use my glue dot, right? So we're gonna try this again, see if I can get it a little bit tighter. It helps when you have it held down, but obviously I'm not doing that right now. But you can see that it loosens up if you don't do that. So anyway, this is starting to dry. I'm just gonna give it a little bit of a shake, shake, shake to dry. In the meantime, we can do some stamping. So let me put this off to the side. This was a happy accident. I'm glad I was able to share this with you. So let me put this off to the side, and we are gonna stamp Be Mine on our heart. So we're gonna do this. Here's my Be Mine. We're gonna stamp Be Mine in Mellow Mambo. So let's go ahead and get this done. Get this centered up the way that I want it. And we have Be Mine. There we go. Clean this off. Close this up. And let's go back to our card. Almost dry. In fact, not exactly dry, but dry enough that I can keep working because it's going to dry all on its own. I promise, promise, promise. I have made more mistakes than I care to share with you, but my undo has been my happy helper. And the reason I like it so much, besides the fact that it does an incredible job, is I'm able to salvage mistakes. Have you ever glued something wrong and you go to tear the paper off, because that's the only way you're going to be able to fix it, and your paper tears and your layer tears or whatever, and suddenly the card is ruined? Well, I hate it when that happens. So when I found undo, I am able to salvage more cards than not. So now we're going to untie this now that it's all set up the way that it should. And we've got one more piece of cardstock that I need to place on the inside here. And you can see it's really starting to dry really very well. You can't hardly tell anything had happened. So let me go ahead and get this piece of cardstock down. And I think probably what I should have done is I should have put some glue along the edge here. And I can still do that because it's just a fine little strip of glue right next to the fold. So I'm going to come up here, see how far I need to go up. Probably right about there. Good job. Clean that little piece of glue up right there. And now we've got this. So, I got to hold it for a second. It's also on, was this part of the part that got wet? I don't think so. So I just need my glue to adhere for a second. So let me hold that. I think while I'm doing that, I'm gonna take one of my blocks and I'll just put my block on the top. That's how I hold things down. And I need to adhere my heart. And my heart is gonna be adhered with dimensionals. So let's go ahead and while we're waiting for the glue to dry, I will put my dimensionals on my heart. So we got that. Looks like this is down now. I can close this up. I'm gonna move this out of the way. I'm gonna tie my bow off to the side here. And now it's being held down for me, so I'm gonna be able to do a much better job of tying that bow. I grab the thread. I'm having a tough time grabbing this thread tonight. I've only tied this bow, not this particular one, but for the card, umpteen times. You'd think I'd have it down pat. Okay, so are my backs off? No, my backs are not off. I'm going to take my backs off of my dimensionals. And I'm going to take my heart and I'm going to center it right here over, see this space right here? I'm going to center it over my thread and pull that a little taut. And did I get it centered where I want it? I've got my finger in the way. Right about there. Very good. Okay, next we get to bring in our fun, these are called adhesive backed heart sequins. And I'm going to put some heart sequins on this. And so, whoops, I gotta get my dimensionals off though. I like to use my take your pick, so we'll put one up here. We've got another one we'll put here, and then we'll put our last one right down here. Okay, guys. My happy accident, can't even tell, happened. The card looks great. And I'm excited because you can create this as well and open it up and you've got your little gift card inside. How fun is that? All right, so that is card number 2. So card number 3, how fun is this gonna be? We're gonna make a heart-shaped Valentine. So what are we gonna use to do that? I have some real red cardstock. I've already die cut the outside of the card with that gorgeous hearts die. I'm going to show it to you again because I love this die. It's this one. Check out all that piercing around the top of it. Can you see that on the designer series paper? So pretty. All right. And then I'm going to utilize this die in order to actually create. And I guess I am going to have to bring in my big cut and emboss. Gosh, I thought I was going to get by without having to bring it in because it just takes up my whole work area. But I also have another piece of basic white that was cut with that same die that I showed you earlier that's got all the piercing in it. Then I cut out a banner that comes from, I want to show you where this is coming from. It's coming from the hot air balloon set. And there is a banner in here. It's right here that we cut the banner from. So I love to incorporate other stamp sets and bundles that I have as well. Now I have a piece of scrap that we're going to work with. And then I also have a gold heart that was cut with one of the dies. All right, so where are we going to start? Let's go ahead and start with our stamping. And I'm going to bring my mat back in. And we are going to stamp XOXON, oh, cherry cobbler. Not real red, cherry cobbler. All right, so let's do XOXO. Okay, and let me see. I do need to stamp a couple of leaves, and this time it is going to be the leaves, just the stem leaves. So I probably should have left them on a block and just got out a second block, but that's okay. I think, let me see, I can fit it onto this block. Pull this over, okay, And we are going to stamp this in Flirty Flamingo. So let me just bring my little scrap in. Actually, yeah, I think the scrap will be fine. Oops. So we'll stamp one. And we're gonna have to die cut this twice. Two, because I only have one die for this. So let's go ahead and clean this off. And then we'll do the two little leaves. Let me grab the die for that. With the mini cut and emboss, it's just easier. So here's that die. So little. And some of my tape that I saved. I'm gonna get this lined up. Okay, and I'll bring in the mini cut and emboss. Move the ink out of the way. Move the stamps out of the way. And bring in my well-loved plate. And we're gonna crank the first leaf through. Oh, I think it moved. I mean, it just looked like it did. Okay, so we'll crank this through. Bring it back around. And then I'm gonna move this. Pop it out if I can. There we go. And I'm going to use this same piece. Well, I guess I should pick it up just a little bit so I can make sure I get lined up right. Here. All right. I've got this cut. All right. I've got our two leaves. Let me move this out of the way, and I'm going to show you what we're going to do with this cherry cobbler cardstock before I bring my cut and emboss in. So I'm going to move these pieces out of the way and move these pieces out of the way so I don't lose them. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fold my cardstock, and we're going to burnish the edges. My ribbon is going crazy. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to take this die and we are going to center it in the cardstock, but hopefully you can see that I'm not going quite to the top. I am leaving some air or some space between the two. Not a lot. I don't want a ton of space, because I want to keep the heart shape intact, but at the same time, I don't want to cut my fold. So what we're going to do is, I think, let me see, I might want to move this over just a itsy bitsy teeny weeny bit. So I'm going to look at this again, and I'll show you, I'll pick it up and show you as well. So we'll put this down here, this down here. I want to make sure, and then can you see the air, the space between, just enough that I'm not cutting the fold, right? Okay. So let's bring in the cut and emboss. And my plates. And we are going to cut through 2 layers of cardstock. Remember, we've got it folded. So let me turn this so that I can get a good crank on it. And I'm just gonna run this through. Okay, move this out of the way. Pull this from my plates. You can see the heart got cut. So let me pull this off. Move the heart die out of the way. And now we have our heart card. Fun, right? So fun. Now we can just sit down and decorate. So the first designer series paper is going to go on the top layer. So let's go ahead and get this layered down. Did I stamp anything on the inside? Of course I did. We're not done stamping. All right, so I'm not going to put the inside down until after I get it stamped. But let me move this around. Whoop, 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 whoop. It moved too much. So I'm going to pick it up and we're going to start again. I want to get this centered. That was much better. Okay, so let's do that. And then we didn't stamp the inside. We need to stamp the inside with Happy Valentine's Day. Missed that. So I'm going to bring my pad back in. I'm going to bring my cherry cobbler ink back in. And we're going to stamp Happy Valentine's Day so we can finish building this card. Okay, so tap, tap, tap. Okay, move this off to the side. And then get this lined up where I want it. And then down. There we go. Happy Valentine's Day. I remember as a kid, we would do Valentines for our classmates, and we would create our Valentine's boxes. And then on Valentine's Day, or whatever the day was, you know, if it fell on a weekend. Anyway, on Valentine's Day, our party, we would go around and we would put Valentines in all of the boxes that had been created. And it was so fun. I don't know why this card makes me think about that. Maybe it's because it's heart-shaped. I'm not sure. But I do remember that, and I have fond memories of that. I wonder, do the kids do that today? You know, I'll have to ask my daughter. I've got grandkids, and my oldest grandchild is only 7. She's in the 1st grade. So I'll have to see whether or not they do that. I know they have class parties, but I didn't know if they did Valentine's or not. I know that they still sell Valentine, you know, kits and boxes in the store, so they probably do. All right, so we've got that. So let's build the rest of our card. Let's see, we're gonna put our gold heart on, and we've got our leaves. And I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put a little bit of glue behind my heart to start. I'm gonna glue more of it down in just a second. But I'm gonna start placing my leaves back there to hold those in place. So we'll do that. Did I get enough glue on it? Maybe. And then we can put this down. Maybe bring this in just a little bit. I don't want it to look like I'm trying to grow ears out of my heart. All right, so maybe about right here. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll put some more glue on the back. Some dot, 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 glue here, and we'll glue these down. Okay, and I'm gonna put my heart right about, I'm thinking right here-ish. Okay, and then we'll put dimensionals behind my XOXO. I want to move my heart up just a little bit more. Let's twist it a little bit. It's not down tight yet, but I want to put my XOXO over the top of it so it fits. So now we're going to put dimensionals on this. So dimensional here and the dimensional here. There we go. Did I get that one? Yeah, I did. Okay. Just didn't look like I had 2 baggings. I'll turn this over. Got some glue on the front of it. It's just I'll get it in just a sec. Bring this up. I want to center this probably right about like that. Okay. And this glue is not, it's just kind of like glue that came off of something. It's not like glue that I got on it. It's just like little balls of glue. Okay, I'm gonna bring my ribbon back in that just kind of like blew up. So I'm gonna bring my ribbon back in, and I wanna tie a double ribbon. How do I get that to stay put? All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do it like this, and I'm gonna tie a double ribbon, or a double bow, I should say. So let me get this the way that I need it. Grab it, pull. I don't want to lose my end, so we got my end here. Get this adjusted. Pull it tight. Okay. I think I need to, which one does this go with? Oop. Over here maybe. I got one bow bigger than the other bow, and I want to make the bigger bow smaller, not the smaller bow bigger. So I got to pull the right string. Okay, I think I got it. All right, so let's take the ribbon snips. We're going to cut this one apart, and then what I can do is I can line these up and just trim those up. Okay, now we're going to take a glue dot. Glue dots, where did you go? Right here. And I'll put a little glue dot, probably right about here. And then we'll put the bow over the top. And then we're going to bring in some more of those heart-shaped gold sequins. And I'm going to put a big one right here. Whoop, come off my take your pick. And then I'll do a smaller one about right here. Whoop, getting away from me. Don't go there. Okay, try again. I want it to go right about here. There we go. There we go. Excuse me. And here we go. We have our third card created. And it's a fun Valentine's Day card. But we've got a nice little fold in it. So I love these cards. Love, love, love. So this was card number 3. Let me bring these all back in again for you to see. This was card number 2. And let's go ahead and tie up our pretty bow on card number 2. And then the recipient of the card gets to untie the bow and find the prize or the present inside. So we've got card number 2. And then we have card number 3. How fun were these? Really a lot of fun. I had so much fun making them. And I almost was reminiscing, you know, back to when I was a child and made Valentine's Day cards, especially ones that look like this. So let me come back and see you guys. Thank you for joining me tonight. I'm so happy to be here. I have missed you guys. It's fun to be live. And if you are interested in the to-go kit for free, go out to aprildaviscreations.com and go to classes and then go to go, and you'll find all the information there that you need. You need to place your order by Sunday. This is Thursday, so you've got till Sunday to place your order, and then I'll cut the kits on Monday and get them in the mail to you. Okay. Also, don't forget that my Spring Fusion closes tomorrow. So if you're interested in that, be sure to take care of that today or tomorrow. And I will see you guys when I'm in Hawaii. I want to say aloha. I've got a special that I'm going to be telling you about that is a Wish You Were Here special. Exciting, exciting next week. The new spring catalog becomes available and a celebration. So there's been a lot of stuff going on. If you've been watching my 12 Days of Christmas, I'm doing day 10 tomorrow. So there's already 9 days up on YouTube or on Facebook. They're in both places. But if you've been watching my 12 Days of Christmas, I've been giving you little sneak peeks of what is in the new catalog and what is in the celebration flyers. So you're going to have a sneak peek to everything that's coming. I can't say everything, but a lot of the things that are coming. So I hope you're getting excited. Anyway, thank you again for joining me tonight, and I will be back in touch very soon. Take care, everybody. Bye.